Alright, so now you're wondering why this is a really late, chapter review. And the reason why this is a really late chapter review is because yesterday, well, basically today, when I was reading the chapter, I was enjoying the chapter One Piece, and I ended up, actually reviewing it and recording it. I stayed up about 12 a.m., about 1 o'clock, just reviewing it and checking, all the panels, seeing if I missed anything. And after that, I started recording myself, I started reviewing just like right now, and I uploaded it to YouTube, and I was like, all right, good. I checked the video, I was making a thumbnail for it, and I ended up seeing that the video was cut. And it wasn't like a small little chunk, it was about not even half the video. I uploaded the video, it was 8 minutes and 5 seconds. And it cut the video to about 2 something. So it basically cut off 6 minutes of my video, not even, like I said, not even half the video. So I was working on it, trying to see if I can upload it again, and it kept cutting it and cutting it even more shorter. It was like, holy crap. So I ended up deleting the video and I set up to like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, just trying to see if I can, still upload the video and in a little bit, not so much in time, but at least a far distant time, where I can actually upload it. So it didn't work, and I decided to delete it, and now I decided to take some sleep because I stayed up pretty late, and I didn't sleep at all yesterday. So I I decided not to review it, and now we're gonna review it again. Anyway, so damn, holy crap! This One Piece chapter, guys, the way they ended this arc in the battle, it was insane. Now now I want to talk about a little bit about Luffy's Gear Fourth, and we can see, Gear Second, it's all basically more. It speeds up his blood, and it's more speed. Everything's all speed to him. Basically, it's Gear Second, and Gear Third is more of a basically more of a gigantic kind of stronger power, sort of. And Gear Fourth is a different kind of variation, sort of. And the reason why I talk about Gear Fourth right now and not summarizing the chapter is because Gear Fourth is probably one of the most interesting gears of all of them, because in the chapter he uses two types of Gear Fourth, and I'll get to this right now. But the Gear Fourth mostly is a little bit of kind of speed and bulkiness, sort of combined, basically. And it uses a lot of hockey. And it's alright, Gear Fourth. It's nice power, nice gear. But however, it's not just that. There's like two variations of it. And I'll talk about it like I said right now. But let's just real quick summarize this chapter. Basically, in this chapter, Luffy and Doffy, face to face, are ready to fight. And Doffy takes out his string tentacle and tries to pierce Luffy, but kind of blocks it, sort of. But he falls on the ground. He gets up again, and then Doffy sends another. And oh, my bad. Law gets a boulder, and he basically switches with Rebecca, so Rebecca can get out of the way. Meanwhile, Luffy's on the ground, trying to get up still. And Doffy says, it's time to end this. And he says ever white, and holy crap, I need to know, a little bit more of Doffy's backstory, because how long does it take to master Awakening Devil Fruits? Because this motherfucker, dude, this guy knows. He's like at the master already. He's basically like the grandmaster of Awakening Devil Fruits, because this bitch, man, he's OP as fuck with Awakening Fruit. And anyway, he says ever white, and all of his surroundings turn into a string. And he holds down Luffy with his strings, and Luffy's like, just trying to get out of the floor, trying to budge, And Doffy, surrounds him with all these string tentacles, and it's ready to aim for him. And he sends all the string tentacles out of him. It's about to pierce him. He tries to, get Haki, he puts on Haki, and his Haki is regained yet. So he cannot withstand these strong attacks. So basically he gets pierced, and he's all on the floor, already. Well, everybody's like, oh no, Luffy's gonna die, and he's already on the floor, pretty fucked up. And Doffy's like, oh, see, it seems like your Haki has regained a lot. And we get a little flashback about Rayleigh, and we find out that Rayleigh was the one that taught him Gear Fourth. And Luffy was, suggesting that he wanted something, bigger, bigger and stronger than Kong Gun. He wanted something stronger. And Rayleigh's like, alright, yeah, sure, why not? I'll give you something stronger. We'll teach you something better than Gear Fourth. And so, like, alright. So Luffy goes to Gear Fourth, and he pulls all the way up in the midair, and Doffy's like, oh, getting a little cocky. He's like, oh, this is easy because, well, midair is my specialty. So he goes up in the midair, and all these strings are like, just following him too. And Doffy's like, I want to see this KO move that you've been talking about past these past chapters. And so Luffy's like, all right. And so Luffy tells saying them, that the reason everyone follows you and everyone's doing this is because of your greed of control. You want to control everything. You want more and more under your control. And Doffy's like, well, it's not my fault. Everybody's jealous about being about me. Everybody's jealous. There's nothing I can help about it. And Luffy's like, no, that's not the truth. And so Luffy starts saying "Gomu Gomu" and all, and everybody's like, oh, he's gonna use a new move, and he does. He used a move called King Kong, and it's basically the same move, but a little bit different. Now, before we talk about it, Doffy basically he's gonna cover the attack, and he knows that it's basically you can see it. Fucking Luffy has a big ass round hand. It's all his hands all inside his arm. It's a super round attack, and Doffy's like, all right, well, I'll use spiderweb, and he basically makes this huge ass spiderweb that will basically block his attack. And in this spiderweb, there's like these little square openings. And like, oh well, it's easy. I'll block this attack. So anyway, Luffy, uses King Kong, and now what the gap is like probably maybe about this wide. We'll say about this, and you can see his face through it. Basically this opening where his face is. And Doffy's like, getting cocky, like it's not gonna go through. And Luffy's Gear Fourth is very interesting because, like I said, it has variations. And this variation that he used, instead of maneuvering it, he ended up changing the size and the shape of his hand. And if you don't see it, well, in the gap, like I said, his hand is not a round hand, and it's not so roundish like Gear Fourth is supposed to be. And in the gap, he changes it into a cubish looking hand, and it changes the size of it too, and it makes it fit through the spider web and hits him directly right in the face. So, and Doffy ends up falling to the ground, and he basically ends up being defeated. And we might be seeing his face reveal of Doffy because his glasses are all broken down. We see a little panel where his glasses are just broken, and then in the floor. But anyway, so Gear Fourth is pretty interesting because the last variation we saw, he can maneuver his attacks. And in this variation, he can change the shape and size of his attacks. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but it seems like Gear Fourth has multiple variations. And maybe there's only 2 right now. But either way, there's multiple variations of it. Like I said, maybe there's only 2. Or maybe there's even more. But we'll find out in a couple chapters, of One Piece. But good ass ending to Dressrosa arc. It's an amazing ending. Anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you guys did. Also, comment down below and tell me what you guys thought about this chapter. Was it good? Was it bad? Did you enjoy this on and off fight? And also subscribe if you're new. My name is Nebula, and I'll see you next time. Peace.